to the Razor's Edge, These Wicked Rivers. How are you guys today?
Very well, yeah, really good. Yeah, still buzzing, to be honest, from the set. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been an awesome afternoon. We've had a great time.
First time at Stonedead, so what's your thoughts on it?
It's amazing, yeah. I mean, we're on this run at the minute where we seem to be hitting just really good, sort of, fantastic, like very community-based festivals. Like we had Firestorm, we had Steelhouse, and now we're on Stonedead. And yeah, just really love it because it's great for us. We go around, we meet new people, we meet people we know, and when you walk out, it feels like it's just a community and a family. Do you feel the same?
The big thing for me. At Steelhouse in particular, and here today, we've done Planet Rock signing tents after we've played, and the queue is out the door. It's like hundreds of people long, and they are a combination of new people and people that we've met before. They've got nothing but lovely things to say, and they're just so friendly, so welcoming. At both festivals, the staff have been unbelievable and making it, like literally making it so that all we do is turn up, play our set, and then go and do our stuff afterwards. It's such a great, relaxing thing to be involved in.
And you mentioned the signing tent. Does that bring it home a little bit? Because I know it can be surreal being in a band, can't it? And you don't quite understand the connection you've got with people.
Yeah,
we were prepared today, weren't we? Because of what had happened at Steelhouse, we were prepared.
So tell us
today.
what happened at Steelhouse then, for guys who weren't there.
Well, it was cute. It was kind of queuing across half the festival.
Wow.
Yeah, which was amazing for us. I mean, we had a thing during lockdown. We released our debut album in lockdown. And I think when we came back, we weren't prepared for how much we'd grown as a band. And since then, we've had some amazing shows sort of over the past couple of years, and we've grown quite quickly. And like Dan said, the signing tents are such a good kind of barometer for that. I mean, for me, I love seeing young kids and stuff. I gave a kid a light bulb today. She signed the light bulb. Well, normally I give him picks and I say learn guitar, but obviously we have lamps on stage and I had one of the bulbs in my pocket. I didn't really pick, so I signed a light bulb.
I was signing drumsticks. I was signing drumsticks for a little one today.
This is the best thing about it, isn't it? Because you feel like you're giving them. So I remember when I was like 10, 11 years old, and I was really into Blackstone Cherry and Roadstar and stuff, and I'd go to these shows and I'd chat to the guitarists and they'd give me picks, and that really inspired me as a young guitarist. So that with Dan with drumsticks, it's nice to be able to kind of give that back a little bit.
I mean, the thing was at Steelhouse, we had half an hour slot at Steelhouse, and they had to turn people away.
Wow.
At the end of it, because they just needed to get the next band in, and we left feeling bad that people had been disappointed, but at the same time, like, whoa, this is.
It was cool because we're one of them bands as well. We love just hanging around and watching bands afterwards. We'll stand in the crowds, and so we get to meet people that we might have not met in the signing tent and have a chat and stuff and a photo, which is really cool.
And that's important what you're saying. That 10-year-old that you signed for today, in 10 years' time, could be on that stage. And it is good that you've got such a connection and you do value that fan base that you've got.
For us, it's really nice to think that people have heard our stuff and they can see themselves potentially going and trying to do that themselves a little bit further down the line. We've got plenty of younger folks, like teenagers who play guitar and teenagers who play drums. They come and ask us, their parents usually come and ask us about, how do you get to where you are now? And it's all about getting the message across. It's not all rock and roll. It's hard work that makes it work for you. And if you're willing to put the effort and the energy into it, if you can transmit that message to them and they walk away and take a bit of it from it, then we've done our job from that point of view.
Because you're actually a really good example of that. I mean, being voted on the bill, kind of saying to people, actually, if we can do it, you can do it.
Well, we're still.
And it's a positive message, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, we're still very much sort of the underdog, because we've got the second album that we're recording at the minute, but we're still very much sort of lower down on the bill, just because, festivals are booked sort of a year in advance and we've grown quite quickly. But we quite like that because it gives us the opportunity to kind of, go in there and surpass people's expectations and just blow the roof off the place a little bit,
Because you've played the bigger festivals, and obviously you have supported some really big names, haven't you? I mean, and then to come here and have that queue, like you said, it's amazing. I think in a short period of time, it's hard work, but it affirms it, I suppose.
And the thing about coming to do festivals like this is it puts you on a bill of well-established names, so people are here predominantly to see them, and then so you walk out. Like we did this morning, you walk out and you see that sea of people who are predominantly there really to get into position to see the bands that they want to see. So if you can knock the roof off it, like Aaron says, then it brings new people in for you. And it makes it a lot easier for us to do our jobs as well when there's a big sea of people out
We
there.
like the challenge. You know, I think one of the things that we're very good at is leaving everything on the stage. You know, anyone that sees us, like, you know, we normally go on with about 3 layers on, even in today's, you know.
Dale having to lose his leather
Yeah, he had
jacket
to whack
today.
his leather off before
Oh dear.
we got final song because it was too much.
Is he
for him.
recovered?
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah.
He's all right. But he had to. Our guitar tech had to whack his jacket on before Pray For Me. But we you know, we really do give everything. It's like Zumba for me playing a gig. You know, because we want to give everything that we can and like inspire people. You know, give people something they're going to walk away and remember.
Yeah. You talked very briefly just a few moments ago about the second album. Can you shed any more light on that? How's that going?
Yeah, so we are midway through the recording process at the moment. We're running a crowdfunder for it for all the bits and bobs, because it's not just about the actual physical writing the songs and getting in the studio to record them. There's all sorts of associated costs as well that come to making it what it can be. So that crowdfunder's sitting at about 80% of completion at the moment. So we just need people on board to just nudge it over the edge a little bit. But we're making good progress on it. So we're about, I'd say, 2/3 of the way through it.
Yeah,
maybe
the initial
something like that.
response was really exciting, because when we did the crowdfunder for Eden, our debut, which obviously again was back just before lockdown, to then run it again a few years later, it was nice, like with today, to have that, you know, affirmation of where we are and how far we've come. You know, the support's been amazing, and a lot of the songs that we've got on the album and stuff, there's a couple of songs that we played today, you know, newer songs, and we feel it's the best representation of where we are now. You know, obviously Rich is coming on keys, you know, got Dale in there as well, so the band's grown a lot, you know, as you naturally do, and this is like us putting our flag in the ground and saying this is who we are.
And it's crowdfunder is a good platform, isn't it? And it's a good tool to use. We talk a lot lately about venues struggling, bands struggling. You know, everything's expensive, prices are going up. So if you can do it that way, I mean, why not?
It's a really good show of where you are as a band and how people are engaged with you as well. I think that's the thing that really switches us on to where we are at the moment. The swell of support for it has been absolutely absolutely unbelievable, and a very humbling experience to see those people in these times still willing to put something towards supporting you to go and do what you want to do. Is a really eye-opening experience, and it makes us very, very grateful that people it's the Wicked Rivers family, isn't it? But we welcome people to it all the time, and their support is just absolutely unbelievable, and we absolutely love it.
So when you're hoping to get that album out, probably next year?
Yeah, we're probably looking sort of like late spring next year. As part of the crowdfunder, you can buy tickets for an album listening party, which is like January time, which we'll be doing in Derby. So that's kind of the first chance people will get to listen to it. Yeah, we're just so excited about it, because we feel it's the next stage in our timeline. You know, we're really looking to play so many great shows, playing in front of some great crowds. Now's the time we want to get that album out that really staples us as who we are at this point.
Yeah. Any more shows this year that you can talk about that you've got going on, or anything in the pipeline for early next year?
We're off to do one a little bit later this afternoon. So we got two shows in one day. Next week we're playing.
Are you going for a Guinness World Record?
We just love the torches, to be honest.
Glad I bought to change your clothes. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So we've got another festival later on today. Next week we're playing a little festival in Donington called Off the Tracks, which is a great weekend, a really chilled vibe that is. But then we've got a couple of weeks off before we put ourselves through the ringer to go and do 27 dates with Hayseed Dixie.
Lovely.
Around the entire UK. So
sounds good.
Yeah,
Why
England,
have a rest?
Scotland.
You know, I mean, it would be nice to have a bit of time just to sit in our pants, but at the same time, any chance we have to play a gig, we kind of don't really refuse it.
And I don't think you can in the current climate, can you? You've got to kind of go for it, haven't you, a little bit?
We get the itch that you need to scratch when you've had 2 or 3 weeks off.
Yeah.
And you just have to go and do it
scratching,
again.
what an interview.
Pants scratching, main headline. You know.
I mean, the thing we need to point home to people who are coming to see us on the first date of that tour in Pocklington. Is that it is your birthday on that day, isn't it?
It is.
And how old will you be?
How old do you think I am?
Oh, no.
No, let's play this game, because honestly, you won't offend me, and it's fun.
22.
Oh, bless you. No, 28.
No,
It's the beard.
It's not bad. It's
What
the beard.
can I say? I'm a sucker for a beard, as Andy will tell you.
Some people think me and John, the front man, are the same age. He's like in his 40s, man. That's a disgrace.
You're like, no way, man.
No, it's a disgrace, man.
So you're going to be enjoying being on stage on your birthday. So your favourite thing on your birthday, you can't go wrong.
I'll end up driving the van, won't I? That day?
Probably,
It'll be
yeah.
a party time for you.
I don't know, first gig I did the tour, I don't really want to go
Too
Too
heavy.
Don't want to go
yeah.
too out there.
That's
Well,
it.
we've got to save ourselves for Scotland. So Pocklington and then 5 dates in Scotland.
Where are you playing in
After
Scotland
that.
for our Scottish
Oh,
listeners?
Stirling, Dunfermline, Galashiels.
Galashiels.
Galashiels. Sorry, there you go.
Galashiels, yeah. You'll upset the jocks.
There's a couple more that escape me at the moment, but
But
yeah,
it's good to go somewhere new, isn't it?
Well, we're very lucky because we've got, like, say, 6 days in Scotland. We've got a load of dates in Wales as well, and we've previously been on tour with Blackwell Conspiracy up and down the UK. But with this, there's so many more dates. So if anybody's ever heard of us or, like, heard rumours or whatever, this is the best chance to come out and experience, what our live show's about. And it's very intense. It's sort of 6 days on, 1 day off, 6 days on, 1 day off. But we're ready for it.
That
and
is a
we want it.
hardcore schedule, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is very tough
It's
schedule.
quite old
With travel
school.
timing as well.
yeah, absolutely.
It's very DIY, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
Like getting out and
it's
getting
not
in
the
the
romance
van.
that people think it is. People think it's all hotel rooms and throwing TVs out the window. When in
Rolls
reality,
Royces into swimming pools.
when in
Your
reality,
birthday.
when in reality, it's vans and service stations
Yeah,
on the
it
M1.
So you're local boys, you're Derby.
Yeah.
I mean, you're Midlanders. What's the scene like in Derby at the moment, music-wise?
It's a weird one because I don't think there's a massive classic rock scene, to be honest. I think we're kind of seeing it. I mean, there's particularly the Hairy Dog in Derby has always been sort of our mainstay, and the venue's naturally grown and taken. Like, we supported Phil Campbell there the other day. We've supported Crows there. We've got our own gig there in October, and we're kind of the main sort of classic rock band from Derby. The scene's probably more indie than anything else, but I think Derby as a place is really down to earth. I think it's got a massive sort of rock audience, and we quite like, we take pride in being sort of the main boys that are running the classic rock scene in Derby. Nottingham's a bit different. There's a few other bands around there.
I think that's the thing that Derby's always got, is that it is, because of the proximity of it, it is in direct competition with Nottingham. Nottingham's a bigger city. It's got a well-established rock venue that's voted several times the best in the country. So to kind of compete with that is hard work. However, Paul at the Hairy Dog is incredibly supportive of us. He's really built that venue up from the ground. It's a fantastic, and he's starting to figure much more regularly on big touring bands scheduled. Like
It's
Aaron
really
mentioned,
cool,
Crows
yeah.
came there,
Yeah.
Phil Campbell came there. You get some really established old school indie acts going there as well. It's a nice 500 cap venue, and then they're building new stuff over there as well that will push it more towards the front of the rock community, I think.
And that's really good to hear, because the other side of the Midlands, our side, where we've got Wolverhampton and Birmingham, it's the same thing. Birmingham's the more well-established city, the Black Sabbath, the whole heavy metal. Wolves struggles sometimes.
Wolves is kind of our home away from home, if you
Yeah.
like.
KKs.
I'm a Wolverhampton lad.
Yeah.
Spent 20 years there before I
Yeah.
moved away to get to university. So
But
when
it
we
is a
go
similar
there,
thing,
it is a
Yeah,
very
it's a good
similar
Yeah.
thing.
yeah.
But when we go there, we do well on our shows because they sort of see. They sort of see a connection
Yeah.
there, and they come out to them.
And Wolverhampton's a great place for shows as well.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
don't
it's
have
home
to
from
go
home.
to the big cities, like you're saying about Derby with the Hairy Dog. People are pushing it forward now, aren't they?
Yeah,
really?
absolutely.
Yeah. Anybody you're going to watch today before you've got to fly off? Anyone you're looking forward to?
The one band we're good friends with the guys in Stonebroken, and we really wanted to see them. And I just bumped into Rich in our hospitality area.
They've got a special surprise.
They have.
Have they?
Rich has told me about it. Yeah,
He told you about it?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know
know
It's all
about it.
very.
I know about it. Yeah,
If you know, you know.
but unfortunately, they start when we are about to leave. We did get a chance earlier when we were round by the Mercia Whiskey Tent to watch a little bit of Tigers of Pantang while we were.
I just watched a bit of the treatment. Mum and Dad are here. So Mum and Dad are the reason this happened, for many reasons, but mainly the rock music. So yeah, I remember seeing the treatment when I was probably about 13, 14 years old, support Slash. So I enjoyed watching a bit of the treatment. Again, a bit of Tigers as well.
Yeah.
It was good. It's a shame because like Dan said, we're gigging later on, so we've got to keep the graphic going because I'd like to see Michael Schenker. He's a bit of an inspiration
Always
for
entertaining.
me. Yeah, definitely.
I love watching Crows live. Crows are an absolutely
Yeah, gigged with
sensational
Crows
live
for
band.
years, great band.
And they've just got Shane and the boys have just got everyone in the palm of their hand all the time, and it's to see them take it to a stage like that, a bit like they did a Download earlier in the year. To see them take it to a stage like that would be an absolute, like, a really cool thing to see. But unfortunately, we're off to do our own thing again a little bit later on. I say unfortunately, it's not really unfortunate.
Oh, no,
because
it'd be
the
a
crowd
good
there
gig.
are absolutely great
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Sunday. I ain't gonna lie. I'm looking forward to
Big Lion.
relaxing, Big Lion. It's been a big day, but mean, you're doing what we enjoy. Got to be grateful
That's
for
it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for talking to us today.
problem at all.
Really appreciate your time.
No,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Nice one.
Cheers.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you keep up to date with future episodes by subscribing to our channels. For more information on this podcast, or for all the latest music news, reviews, interviews and more, head over to our website www.therazorsedge.rocks.